Sorry, find my space. So our final speaker for this afternoon is a best-selling author and wealth manager who will share invaluable financial advice for women and on their own. Please welcome Judy Resnick. Come down to you.
I feel like Barbara Boxer when I speak. Well, I'm Judy Resnick. I am a financial advisor. I'm with the Private Bank of Merrill Lynch. Does this seem very loud? Which is my day job. I have another motivation in life, which is to help women do what we just heard, which is take care of their finances and take care of themselves. And my life didn't start up here. So I'll back up and tell my story, which was I was a spoiled brat, Southern California girl with a great family. College was not in my repertoire. I was what you would probably call a little bit of a bum. Married a bum. Divorced a mom. And I left with 2 kids. And no money, naturally. My life was made easy because I had a father that didn't believe women should work, and I was all for it, and wanted me to stay home with my children, so he supported us nicely. We had a lovely little home, I had help, I had anything any luckily married woman would have, except I didn't have anybody telling me what to do, except my father. And life was really easy and fun. And then he died. And that was a shock because I was helpless. I knew nothing. And a year later, my mother and sister were killed in a plane crash. So I was not only left with nothing, but no family. And I made the unpleasant discovery that we weren't rich. We were anything but rich. My father had a terrible habit. He spent a lot of time in Vegas. That's where my inheritance went. But I grew up thinking I was never going to have to work. So when the lawyers sat me down and said, "You have to go to work," I said, "Spell that." And I really didn't know how to do anything. I mean, I was a great mom, which helped, by the way, in raising children. But I didn't ever plan for a career. I didn't want a career. I didn't want to work. I just wanted someone to keep giving me the money. And when I adjusted to the loss, which was hard, I was seeing a therapist, and he grabbed me by the shoulders, and he said, "Life is not fair. Good guys don't necessarily win. Bad guys don't lose. Grow up." And that was my wake-up call. And now I consider myself a walking wake-up call because I went out and I got a job, J-O-B. I had to buy a suit. And I went out interviewing because I had a stockbroker or something like that. And he took my small amount of money and took about 10 months to lose it. And I was sitting on the beach looking at all these confirmations saying, he made this, I lost that. That's how I chose my career. Honest to God, I said, that's it, I'm gonna be a stockbroker. So it was a cheap education, much less than going to business school here. And I thrived. I was terrified. I was not raised to work. I was raised to be happy, be married, have babies. And I found I really took to it. In fact, I fell in love with it. In fact, I became so good at this that within 8 years I had my own firm. I had initially worked at Drexel Burnham, which some of you may have heard of, which was Michael Milken and the junk bonds. It was very good luck to be there because I learned so much. I could never replace the education. But ultimately, I started a firm with a partner, and we grew it to 150 people. And it was managing people, not money. And so I became unhappy because I didn't want to manage people. I don't want to manage people now. So I sold my firm to a public company. I stayed on for a short time and left and started a small group just geared for women. And the first year was great. I did very well. I had some old business to take with me. I wasn't struggling. I had done very well with my firm. And I was suddenly not in the poverty level. And I understood money. I got it. And so I dug my heels in and I started teaching, and I wrote a book. My first book was called I've Been Rich, I've Been Poor, Rich is Better, which no one will disagree with, right? And I wrote it feeling that I had to share this because I was a beach bum, and now I'm running a 150-person brokerage firm. How's it possible? Well, first of all, it's not rocket science. I hate to break the news to you, but managing your money is not rocket science. Men make it sound like rocket science. It's really not. It's a lot of common sense. And that's what I realized I could share, because everybody I know is scared to death of this. I know married women that won't leave the husbands because they're afraid of the money. The list goes on. You all know who you are. And that fear of having nothing and being a bag lady is sort of built into a lot of us. Meanwhile, I went through this, sold the firm, started this new business. Things were great. And I loved what I was doing. And I did well with my first book, and I was very proud to have written a book. I wanted to go to the cemetery and yell at my family, I'm not a bum anymore. At any rate, I don't know what year it was. I have a daughter that became severely disabled. And I heard somebody else telling this story. The husband walked, 3 kids. He couldn't handle the disability. And I sort of understand that. But he also didn't handle the finances. He walked completely. So here I was, again, supporting a family. Why? Because I could. Thank God. What would I have done? What would have happened to my daughter? What would have happened to her 3 children? They all live with me. So if anybody misses their grandkids, I can tell you it's okay to miss them a little bit. But I'm able to take care of everybody. That's the biggest thrill of my life. I, the old bum, am supporting my grandchildren as I did my own children. I'm keeping this family glued together financially. I'm in a wonderful business at a wonderful firm. I'm able to give them everything they need, and that for me is everyday gratification. Because what would it feel like to have to deprive them? And if I hadn't have gone to work and saved money and then invested it wisely, I wouldn't be up here. And my grandkids would probably be on the system. And my daughter would probably not be alive because I can afford good medical care. So my message is not just about how to manage money, because my book will tell you that, and other books before me, but it's that you have to manage your money, that you have to know what's going on, that if you're married, you have to have your husband share the information with you, because if he gets hit by a truck, you don't know anything. And those are the people that get taken advantage of with lack of knowledge. Talk about balancing lives. I'm a working grandma, and I love it. I love helping raise the children. I wish my daughter were healthy. It's horrible to see someone you love suffer. But yet these children are the reward. One just applied here. I won't say his name. One just graduated college up north. One is a 15-year-old volleyball player. And I have now been able to raise 4 girls, teenagers, which no one should ever have to do. And they've learned from me much more than my kids did, because I was really not very serious when I was young. But my granddaughters and my grandsons, they know college is imperative, even though I didn't go. My family didn't expect anything of me. It was a terrible way to be raised. They did it out of love. But a lot of women go through this in marriages where they suddenly find their husband either passed away or left. And they don't know anything about the money. They didn't even know where the money is. So you become this horribly vulnerable human being. And money's right up there with your health, your family, money, because you can't do a lot without it. It's the love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. So take my advice, read your balance sheets, know what you have, know what you can spend, and don't be crazy with the spending on the clothes and the bags we've all been there. Save it, invest it. That's what makes it grow. That's why I can support all these people and still afford a couple of scarves. But I think that's it. I'm due to wrap up, but I hope you all leave here with purpose and a budget. That's all I could offer you. Thank you.